Really simple to install. Nice little white stat, a couple of little LEDs on there to tell you higher, lower. Hi all, I'm Chris from Minty Property Developments, here on the beautiful verified build. We're now at the stage where we can start fitting room stats, radiator thermostats, the little finishing touches so it's nice and warm. We are fitting the Drayton Wiser Smart Thermostats and the Smart Radiator valves, along with auto balancing valves. First off, we'll start with the room thermostats. Because we've got a large house, we're going to be doing two different heating zones. So we'll have a downstairs heating zone, all controlled by one thermostat, and then an upstairs heating zone controlled by the other. So that's why this kit, we've gone for the kit 3. So we get 2 thermostats in the box. So these will be placed downstairs and one upstairs, and we get a receiver all in the box. So this will do our 2 different zones and our hot water zone. That's key because we're in the house, we've got a cylinder, we've got hot water and 2 heating zones. That all works on the app. It's all smart, all user friendly, real easy to set up. We can go into that once it's all up and running. To team that, we're going to fit our smart TRVs. These kind of create an individual zone for every room. So we can adjust the temperature by the app on our phone per room rather than having a communal one. So they work really well with the room stats. If we're not using a room, maybe save a bit of energy, turn that one right down, turn that one up. So you get a nice even temperature throughout the property. These again, really simple to install. Nice little white stat, a couple of little LEDs on there to tell you higher, lower. They do take a little bit of setting up, so we can go through that again once they're all in place. With the thermostat head, we've got the thermostat body. This is an auto balancing valve. Long gone now the days where we have to play around with our lock shields to try and get an even temperature, to push water around the system. Radiator, the furthest point isn't working. These do it all for us now. So what we do, we leave this lock shield valve on full and we tinker with the actual TRV itself. So this TRV, it's got a little gauge on it, little gauge on there, and we get a special little key. So that sits on there, you get a bit of adjustment. Now to work out the adjustment within the instruction manuals, it tells us what we want our temperature difference to be. So between the flow and return temperatures, if we got a temperature difference of 10, 15 and 20 degrees, and the watt rating of our radiator. So you look on technical information on your radiators. For example, this one down here, say we've got a 1000 watt rating of our radiator and we want a 20 temperature difference between our flow and returns. This handy little chart tells us 1000 watts, 20 degrees, we want to set this at number 4. So we use our key, we've got our little calibration notch just there, stick your key on and turn it around till you get to the 4th notch. Great little keys these from Drayton. If you're watching, you can have a few more because I'll probably lose them. The only thing to think about is when you're fitting these, they're non-bi-directional. So the water will only travel one way. So it has to go on the flow of the radiator. So you have a flow and return. You've got to find out, it's all right when you're fitting new builds because we can map it all out. Flow's always on the right hand side for me, personal preference. So I know these are all going to go on the right hand side and I've got the right pipework in. If you're retrofitting, you've got to find out which is the flow and return. So some might be on the right, some might be on the left. It's just swings and roundabouts. You've just got to work with what you've got. So that's the only thing to look out for these. Due to the nature of the TRV auto balancing, you can't have water going in either way, like a standard TRV. A homeowner could go and buy them and add them to the system if they're confident, but there's more plumbing involved, and if they just stuck one on, oh yeah, I'll stick that one on the left hand side, that's where my old one is, it fits nicely. It might not work because the left hand side might be the return, so the water coming out of the radiator is going to hit the valve and it's not going to work. So it's just something to be mindful of when you're retrofitting the valves.